Ladies and gentlemen, it seems that qualifying has finished. And as the cars get ready to grid, they are prompted with the option 2. This is the Cornhub 188 from Iowa Speedway. And your pole sitter is none other than the man himself, the number 19 machine of Mr. Greg Jodet. Let's go ahead and pull Greg up in the booth and get an interview from your fastest car of the night. Greg, this is Noah up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, Greg, you went ahead and put that 19 machine on pole. Is today the day you pick up the win here in PAL?
Might be. Be honest with you, I don't know where that came from. I felt a little slow in practice, and the qualifying lap didn't feel that quick. I just kind of took it easy and was gentle with it, and I guess maybe I found some speed. But see if we can keep the tires under it all day and be up front when it matters.
Alrighty, you're getting 188 laps with the day to nighttime cycle. How do you feel about that transition as we go to the nighttime?
It'll definitely be interesting to see how the track changes throughout the day. If that makes tires wear a little bit less as the track cools off, or if it just gets worse. I guess we're going to find out.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Greg. Let's go ahead and put on our go time music. 20 cars are going to make the field for Iowa's second to last race of the season of Player Advancement League Series. The pace truck now should pull off. It will be Greg Jodet's race to command. And as they roll through the restart zone, we go green flag, and the Cornhub 188 is underway. Already Greg Jodet pushing out to a comfortable lead by a few car lengths. And he will lead your first lap here in PAL. Jacob Alicia, and we have a yellow flag. Caution is out, and it looks like Chris Warren is around. Let's go ahead and check the replay and see what might have happened to Chris Warren. There he is on the bottom of Douglas Henry. Anders in that back end just steps out. Woo! Just barely missed. I think that might have been Raymond Wimmer. And he's going to keep it clean and get back going. And without any damage, he should be A-okay. Greg Jodet now has the command in the restart zone. He's going to go on green, and he still gets a good jump. You can see just behind him is Daniel Honeycutt. Anthony Callahan. It's going to be another battle for second. Jacob Alicia looking to the outside of Anthony Callahan. Daniel Honeycutt was able to clear the 13. Now it is Jacob Alicia's turn to battle for position, as Daniel Honeycutt is already trying to run down Greg Jodet. Down the back stretch, here comes Daniel Honeycutt looking to the lead at the same time. Anthony Callahan to the inside of the 31 of Jacob Alicia, and there are 4 cars under a blanket as they head down the front stretch. Daniel Honeycutt's going to lead this lap, and as he goes into turn 1 and 2, Greg Jodet on a lane higher than Daniel Honeycutt and Anthony Callahan. He's going to settle out in second. 13 machine is going to battle back on the inside, and I assume Greg Jodet might lose another position here. Anthony Callahan is going to move into second. And here comes Jacob Alicia into third. He's already looking to the inside of the 13 Grave Digger machine. Daniel Honeycutt, new leader, and he's going to be all clear as it's Anthony Callahan and Jacob Alicia in his rearview mirror who are battling out for second. Greg Jodet, your pole sitter, drops to fourth. There's Matthew Hill to the outside, Jacob Alicia on the bottom. Jacob Alicia took a pretty hard hit during the Talladega race in the final lap. Coming out of the tri-oval to the finish line, that car got put up on the wall, similar to Corey LaJoie during the Talladega race IRL. As they roll in the lap traffic, now Charles Agier getting put a lap down. Matthew Hill is going to completely clear Jacob Alicia, and Matthew Hill is going to move into that third position. Coming out of Kansas, but he is going to continue to show his pace and his ability to drive this race car.
Yellow flag is out.
We do have a yellow flag. Charles Agbeer was stopped on the track. I have Jared Mayo also with an incident report. Let's look at the replay. There's Charles Agbeer right here in the 96 on the bottom. He washes up big time into the wall. Jared Mayo doesn't get into it. Jared Mayo puts the bumper to him just a slight. I want to look at the cockpit of that. On the top side, you see Agbeer just washes up Mayo, nowhere to go. And he kind of finishes off Charles Agbeer just a bit. Anthony, this is Noah up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Anthony, you've driven that 13 car pretty well. You're kind of showing signs of the driver that you were around the beginning of the season when we saw you up there towards the top 3, top 5. You've struggled just a slight here in the last couple of races, but seeing you back up towards the front, beating Daniel Honeycutt off of pit road. How do you feel about this Iowa race?
We'll find out. I'm trying something a little different. It's the only way I was able to get ahead of him, so we'll see what happens at the end.
All righty. Thank you so much, Anthony. We'll watch the pace truck pull off. Anthony Callahan, it's his decision when they go green. He's going to gas it up. There's Daniel Honeycutt right behind. Let's watch him dive into turns 1 and 2. Jacob Alicia drove it in pretty hard. He's right all over the back bumper. Did Anthony Callahan get a little tighter? Have a problem because Daniel Honeycutt went to the lead. In the meantime, right behind them, Christian Snyder gets around Matthew Heel. Matthew Heel might have had a little bit of a troublesome turn 1 and 2 for that restart. And that's going to allow Daniel Honeycutt to get to the lead. Jacob Alicia looking for second. Anthony Callahan trying to defend to the top. Greg Judded in 4th. Matthew Heel gets away from Douglas Henry. Solidifies his position there in 6th. And Daniel Honeycutt, you can see at the bottom of your screen, is just going to go ahead and check out. Oh, Raymond Wimmer around. Raymond Wimmer spinning through the grass. I'm trying to click on him as quick as I can. There's Raymond. He seemed to have hung on to it. We'll look at the replay anyways. I think the wheels just got out from underneath them, gassing it up. Too much rotation. Ooh, maybe damage for Samuel Lang. Jacob Pettit might have gotten to the back of him as well. But it seems like the rest of the field stays clean. Let's see it now. Daniel Honeycutt.
Green's out.
A really big gap already to Jacob Alicia. Jacob hung back quite a bit. He wanted nothing of it to right around that outside. He's just going to kind of chill up there. They were 3 wide for a second. That is Mr. Chris Snyder looking to the bottom of Anthony Callahan. Christian Snyder was 3 wide for a moment. Greg Jodat is going to back up the field a slight. He seems like he had to get really tight there and check up or something. Meanwhile, Samuel Lang brushes the wall. Anthony Callahan following Jacob Alicia and Daniel Honeycutt. Look at this mix of cars right here. Jacob Pettit makes his way into 6th. There's Chris Warren looking to the inside of teammate Samuel Lang. That is for 7th. Luke Chadwick, your Talladega Derby winner, is running 9th. Nice to see that 9 car break into the top 10 here at a mile track. Here at a short track, he's looking strong, keeping that car consistent. A little bit out of the groove there. Aaron Warren 10th. Chris Snyder still battling Anthony Callahan. This is for the 3rd position. Anthony Callahan really trying to get that car to rotate off the straightaway going into the corner. We saw that back end step out, doing that a little bit with the brake. Trying to see if he could rotate around the top a lot better than the 32 can maintain ground at the bottom. Like Jacob Alicia said, we are burning a lot of tire here, and Christian Snyder will clear Anthony Callahan. Christian Snyder into P3. Whoa, what happened here? Jacob Alicia in the back bumper of Jared Mayo. Jared Mayo seemed to slow down that line quite a bit.
Yellow flag is out.
And a caution comes out. Jacob Alicia might have just crashed. We're going to take a look at the replay. What just happened to Jacob Alicia? We're going to go back quite a few. So Peterson running behind Matthew Hill. He's going to look to the middle. Jared Mayo makes contact with Jacob Pettit. Alicia has to stop. Nose damage, tries to hang on. He has to stop the car, and in the middle of the track, that does bring out the caution. But he does save the car. I don't know what kind of nose damage he may have. Christian Snyder, this is Noah up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Chris, finally that 32 machine is back up towards the front. But the man you have to battle with for the lead is your own teammate. He has a history of moving cars for the lead to win a race before. Are you worried about that, or you think it's all good because he's your teammate, or do you think he might be able to flat out outrun you here?
He definitely won't wreck me for it, but I'm not going to lay over and give it to him. But I'm not really worried. I don't have a short run car, so I'm probably going to get passed by Daniel, Matthew, possibly Greg. But I'll be fast toward the end of the run more than likely. I don't know. I might have to change up my line to be faster in the short run or something. But I just don't have the speed. I got the longevity, but I don't have the speed at the early part.
All righty, great insight there. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm cheering for you, buddy. You're right there in the points. This win could be everything going into the season finale. I'm going to let that on your shoulders, no pressure.
Yeah, I was telling Daniel, I was like, I'm still in this, so if you don't mind letting me win this, I might give you a little bit of the money if I win the championship. He said, I don't know.
Daniel told me at the beginning of the race, he said, now that he's back and able to compete in every PAL event for the rest of the season, he will go on a winning streak. Nobody else will pick up a dub. That might be the truth because he's up here running strong, but hopefully you could be the one that brings home the win tonight. I'm secretly pulling for you, but something to be aware of, Matthew Heel has found his way into the top 3.
Yeah, I'm hoping he wrecks here within this last run.
You might need to be the one to do it. You might need to be the one.
I don't know. I told him his back bumper looks tasty. I might get a piece of it.
All righty. Thank you so much, Chris.
All right. Have a good night.
We'll send him down. Let's grab Mr. Magic Matthew Heel. Magic Matthew Heel. No up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, it seemed like that 53 Chef Call Maymobile has been struggling race long. You've been outside even the top 10 for quite a bit of the day, but here you are now showing off some of that long run speed we don't normally see out of you. And you are running third. As we come around to take the green flag, what's the strategy here, my friend?
Well, the strategy was to save the fuel, and we looked in to be in pretty good position for that, so we really weren't hoping for a caution there. But this kind of resets us, and now we kind of got to race it out. I'm not sure if I'm as fast as the 72 tonight, but I feel like I can beat everybody else. So it's pretty much just being able to manage a 40-lap run. I'm not too great on the short runs for some reason. So it's just all going to be about tire management and who's going to be there at the end.
Before we go green, if the roles are reversed, are you going to put the bumper to the 72 like you did to you at Richmond?
We'll see.
Okay. We'll send him back down real quick as we are about to come green. Here is the pace truck coming out of turn 4. He will dip down, and it will be Christian Snyder in command. He's afraid about that short run speed. We'll see what he has. Matthew Heel already to his bumper. Here they go into turns 1 and 2. Who has the advantage? Look at Greg Joda. He got tied up there on the outside. He falls back. Here comes Daniel Honeycutt, a rocket on rails to the outside, all the way along the top. Daniel Honeycutt to the lead. So strong on that outside line. Here comes Matthew Heel to the outside of Christian Snyder. Douglas Henry found his way into P4. Samuel Lang, P5. Jacob Alicia back into P6. They come across the stripe. Matthew Heel had Douglas Henry cleared for a second. Christian Snyder is going to fall back and fall back hard. Like he said, he does not have that short run speed, but we will see him at the end of the run. I'm sure of it. Back towards the front, Matthew Heel, Daniel Honeycutt. Will it be a battle here shortly? He said, we'll see if we talk about contact. Revenge may be at play, but for now, we're going to watch them race it out. We still have quite a bit of laps left of racing. You know, this isn't full-on, full-bore running it out. You still have to manage some tires. That's where we could see some late bloomers here, but Daniel Honeycutt continues to hold on to the lead. Matthew Heel in second, Douglas Henry third, Christian Snyder running right behind Jacob Alicia, fourth and fifth. Jacob Alicia has not gained at all on the 2. He's going to continue to save quite a bit. He's just going to roll on through. Meanwhile, Christian Snyder spins. Samuel Lang around. Caution is out. It's a big wreck. Christian Snyder with damage. Aaron Warren gets collected. Nowhere to go. Christian Snyder not happy about that. Samuel Lang with damage. Aaron Warren got a piece of it. I don't know who else did. Let's look at the replay. There's Christian Snyder. They go down the front stretch. Samuel Lang looks to the outside. Ooh, Samuel in the back bumper of Christian. Greg Jodat misses. Chris Warren is the one that got into the back of Christian Snyder. I'm going to look at the cockpit view of Samuel Lang, kind of see what happened here. I mean, he just wasn't ready for the 32 to be as slow. Look at that contact. I mean, the 17 tries to miss the 32, but it doesn't work. And Christian Snyder is not happy about that one, absolutely not. And you got to feel for our boy. Jacob, this is Noah up in the booth. You got a copy.
Good copy, Noah.
Well, this has been an eventful Iowa race so far, and now you're sitting in third. You got 2 fast guys in front of you. Are you going to hang back a little bit and wait for them to wreck each other? What's your strategy here? There is some history between those 2.
I don't think there's any time to wait. Tires are falling off, but they fall off consistently despite trying to save. There's not a whole lot of time to gain, so if I let them fight it out and somebody gets ahead, then I'm going to have a lot of trouble catching them. So I'm going to be right up there with them.
All righty, thank you so much. Trying not to give up any sort of track position. Matt Heels a little bit off of 72. He gets it to the gas. Might have been a slight late. And Daniel Honeycutt has the lead as they go into turns 1 and 2. Look at Matthew Heel to the bottom. Does he have enough to get to him? No, he doesn't. Daniel Honeycutt holds onto the lead. Here comes Alicia. 3 cars, 1, 2, 3. 3 stars of the show here in PALracing. Look at Matthew Heel to the bottom. Daniel Honeycutt up top. Jacob Alicia holding it strong in P2. Daniel Honeycutt is extending his lead. And Matthew Heel is now about to be under attack from Anthony Callahan. Here it comes, looking to the inside. Anthony Callahan to the bottom. Matthew Heel, your points leader up top. Callahan now is going to take that position quickly, and he will clear. And now Anthony Callahan is just 8/10 off of Daniel Honeycutt. Coming up on right around 12 laps to go. Does Anthony Callahan have enough to get up and by Daniel Honeycutt? He is not gaining on Daniel Honeycutt unless his last few laps Anthony Callahan finds just a little bit of something, or Daniel Honeycutt finally falls off. This may be Anthony Callahan's loss here. Daniel Honeycutt's win. And the gap has still not, if anything, he might have gained a little bit over Anthony. And as he comes out of turn 4, it's going to be the white flag. 1 more lap to go for Daniel Honeycutt. Daniel came second to Luke Chadwick during the Talladega Derby by just a handful, few hundredths of a second, in what was an epic 4-wide finish coming to the line. But Daniel Honeycutt, after winning the second race of the season, he's going to win the second to last race of the season. Daniel Honeycutt, 2-time winner in the PALracing League, picks it up. The Cornhub 188 at Iowa. But Daniel Honeycutt picks up the win. And what an absolute banger of an Iowa race this was. Two wins in the season. Anthony Callahan brings it home in second. Matthew Heel third. Jacob Alicia fourth. Douglas Henry fifth. Your pole sitter Greg Jodat at sixth. Chris Warren battles back for a P7. Raymond Wimmer, 8th. Jonathan Green, new face to PAL, breaking into the top 10 for the first time. They're in 9th. And Jacob Pettit rounds out your top 10. Luke Chadwick up to 11th. We'll go ahead and pull in Daniel Honeycutt in just a second as he continues to burn it down. Daniel, this is Noah up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Noah?
Well, Daniel, you went ahead and put that thing on top of the leaderboard here at Iowa. You win the Cornhub 188. Tell us about the last about 40 laps or so with those cautions and having to hold off the rest of the field.
Oh, well, I had to let Christian by because he had enough fuel and I was about a lap or two short, and I was slowly but surely saving enough to where I could make it right at the end, and then I was catching him, and then the cautions came out, and I was able to pit and solidify myself. I made sure I put 70 laps in there, so I was 30 laps to the good, so there wasn't no way I was going to run out. And then after that, just fighting hard. I think it was the second to last restart. Chris told me, he said, it's too late to the end. I ain't going to cut down the restart for you now. I said, okay, that's fine. So I just gunned it around his outside, took the lead, and then just never gave it back.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Daniel Honeycutt. We'll see you next week at Darlington. Try to put an exclamation point on a season you've had. You've missed a few races. You're not in the championship contention. But if we see you full-time next season, I have no doubt you'll be right up there with the rest of them.
Oh, yeah, try to get some of that momentum going into next season. Maybe I can show y'all how it's really done.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Daniel. All righty, Daniel Honeycutt brings it home P1. Let's go ahead and talk to our buddy in P2, the 13 machine of Anthony Callahan. Anthony, you go ahead and bring home the 13 car respectively in second place. You had a great showing there. Battled back, showed off some late run speed, and you're able to put the pass on Matthew Hill pretty cleanly. Tell us about your race today, and how do you feel going into Darlington as we try to put a period on what has been an awesome season here in PAL?
Yeah, all the first 111 laps run on the same tires, just trying to save tires at the end, and I still finished second. It's because I just overdrove everything getting through the field.
Well, Anthony, we still think you put on a great showing. It was awesome to watch you run there. You would battle back quite easily, it seemed, after you had regained some of that lost ground. So congratulations on bringing it home, P2, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Definitely a little beat there, but let's grab Matthew Hill and finish off this race here. Matthew, no up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Matthew, you bring it home in P3. You, like we were talking about, you just kind of seemed like you were struggling a lot of the race, and to say you running around 9th to 10th is struggling is pretty impressive, but you bring it home in third. Tell us about your car here and how are you able to manage getting back into the top 3?
Man, Dirty Air was really the key here on how I was so slow. I just really couldn't get myself out of it. I feel like we had a pretty, good Chef Colin maybe car. I feel like we were as good as the 72 there for a few laps, but unfortunately just being behind a car just stretch up your tires, and I saw Callahan coming, and I'm like, oh, he's got 20 lap fresher tires. I'll let him go. Hopefully he'll catch the leader. They'll battle it out, and then I'll catch back up. And then he got in the leader's Dirty Air. He stalled out, and then he stalled me out, and then Alicia caught me. And at that point, it's like, I just got to drive it here. And Alicia and I had a pretty good battle there to the end, and I was able to bring it home P3. All in all, really not too disappointed with the night. Another good points finish. This is pretty much going to solidify the championship for me unless a miracle happens for somebody else at Darlington. But just pretty much the good run I needed. Not the win I wanted, but the good run that I needed.
It is the good run that you needed, and it's a 99.99% of chance of killing germs. Oh, sorry, reading the wrong stat. 99.99% of Matthew Hill being your champion going into next week. Congratulations, buddy. We're excited to see what you do for us here in PAL. You've been awesome to watch. As Adrian Hendricks has said, the Kyle Larson of PAL. So congratulations on P3, and we'll see you next week at Darlington.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, that will be the conclusion of your Cornhub 188 at Iowa Speedway. Thank you guys so much for joining. See you next week for the Season 1 finale of PALracing. It'll be at Darlington. Can't wait to see all of y'all come around. Don't forget to check out our merchandise linked in all the different bios and descriptions. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Cowboy Noah. Have a good night.